Exploration of the back door, take 2. Don't know what means the back door.
G'day guys, welcome back to the channel. We're off today in Girraween National Park for a one-night camping trip, and of course Julien has planned quite an interesting trip for us. So we left Brisbane at about 6:30 in the morning. It's about to be a 3-hour drive to get here, and to start it off, Julien took about 6 hours to get here. We took the scenic route to get to this spot, and after we actually arrived at the national park, we spent quite a while trying to unsuccessfully climb this mountain here, which you can see behind me. Hopefully you're able to see that. And he neglected to tell me that the mountain behind me is the second most difficult to climb in the national park. And he decided that he'd leave that information out until we were actually going up it. And my god, I got a little bit of footage while we were going up. It was sketchy and dangerous. So just like the last time we went to Girraween, the same thing happened. He sent us up some mountain that was way too difficult to get up. We've ditched that idea and we've moved on to the mountain right beside it. And I think it's sort of paying off. We got some decent light going on. You saw from the drone footage earlier, it's quite epic in this area. So I'm going to be, for the next half hour or so before the sun sets, juggling all the gear that I have. Like, look at this. Look at this. I got the whole bag, 2 cameras, 3 lenses, and a whole lot of fun switching between every single one of them because it's going to be a bit of a mess today. So get keen for a little bit of a patchy video, but I can already see our first subject lining up right behind me there. There's just a lovely shadow pattern on that rock face back there with just a little plant poking through it. So in a second we're going to capture that one. It's going to be I reckon it's going to be a good trip. It's just one day, but we're going to do quite a lot of exploring of this cliffside. Julien's already off somewhere finding compositions for himself. So I'm going to join him in that endeavor, and we're going to try and capture something good. So we'll move on to this composition behind me, and we'll see what we can get from there. Alrighty, so I've just got this shot framed up. Turns out that I had to ditch the tripod for the video camera, and I had to chuck it on this one because it's getting a little bit dark, so I'm having to shoot around 1/30th, no, even 1/15th of a second, so hopeless hand holding that at 400mm, but that's whatever, We got the shot framed up, and it's looking real tasty, as usual, using the IR chrome filter, just to give it that little bit of extra pop, and you'll see what I mean when I show you. So, what we got is this nice ripple in the rock pattern that we have right here, and the way that we frame that up on the back of the camera is we have those ripples passing diagonally through, but the real kicker with that is we have a little tree that's poking through the top there. And because we're shooting an IR chrome, that's just a beautiful red up against that sunset painted rock. And if you were to look at that in visible light, you definitely can't see from here, but it really is just like, you know, a gray tree like these ones right here. It's not that impressive in visible light, but when you put it into IR chrome, man, it is just amazing what that does with the scene. So we're going to be shooting this one with a 10-second timer just because this tripod is absolutely shaky as ever, and that's pretty much all there is to the shot. We're going to hit that, and hope you guys like the image. Let me know what you think. And with that shot in the bag, the sunset rush has now begun. We switched back to the good old visible light camera, and we're going to try and rush to find some compositions because this light is starting to kick off. Just look at that on my face. Whew. Absolutely brilliant. Sorry it's a bit windy. Moved over to the other side of the hill. Camera on the tripod. We're going to head up this way because I reckon that there's some nice wildflowers up there because there were a ton on the way up the mountain. But I'll catch up with you guys when I find a composition because talking and going up the hill while holding a tripod really takes the breath out of you. Whew. I had to go back for a jacket. It looks like I was right, guys. These wildflowers are looking amazing. Had to run back with so much breath. What a day of hiking it's been. Behind me right here, these wildflowers, beautiful. They go down the whole side of the boulder. So I'm pretty much, I reckon, gonna set up the tripod on the edge of this cliff here. And we're just gonna look down and then capture what we can. And look at that, I've spotted good old Julien. Let's see if you can see him. Oh no, he's hidden. He's just over that ridge line right there. We'll go and say hi to him, see what he's capturing. Maybe still one of his compositions. You know, a little bit of payback. So we're really having a rush here, guys. I've decided to move to the handheld setup because the sun is really quickly going down. Like, we really don't have much more light left. So at this point, it's just capture what you can before the sun goes away. So I'll show you what I'm working with here the best I can while we try and beat the sun. So this is essentially what I've got framed up on the camera. I've got two compositions. One right here, we have that nice forking large tree between the two boulders just poking out. And hopefully that's in focus for you guys. There you are. And we're just shooting this one handheld, 1/80th of a second. Hopefully it's not shaky. And we also have this one tree right here that's just poking up out of the rock and those yellow flowers. It just looks absolutely amazing on the back of the camera. Just absolutely brilliant. And that's just that one poking up right there. But really having to rush this, guys, because it is getting hectic with this light. Might even shoot that one as a vertical as well. Yeah. But onwards and upwards. We'll find a few more. The sun is really close to setting now. And just like that, as Julien said, I'm a bit optimistic. The light is gone. And that last clip you guys saw to the camera was probably less than a minute ago. That went really fast. I can still see the sun poking over on the horizon behind me, but it's done. So at the moment, we just have this nice reflected light coming up, which we're going to try and capture a little bit of. But I reckon most of this video is going to be tomorrow morning's content. So we'll just call this one a scouting trip, and hopefully we'll be able to get some decent photos tomorrow morning, because this is a really nice location. These wildflowers in bloom just make it that bit more special. Just absolutely amazing, guys. But we're going to have a good bit of food tonight. We're going to relax. Julien says we're going to romantically sleep under the stars together. Oh, can't wait to cuddle up next to Julien. That's a good night in my books. Oh, I can tell he's keen as well. But yeah, I'll put up any photos if I capture them. I'm just gonna run around handheld from now on. But then, yeah, next time you see us, we'll be cuddled up around the campfire enjoying our romantic dinner together. So I'll see you guys then.
Which one was with meat or plant-based?
Meat. You know, Papa loves some meat. Welcome to the next morning, guys. So it was an absolutely terrible night of sleep, absolutely freezing cold, and just to add the cherry on top, I had to get rid of pretty much all of my audio from this part of the morning, because as soon as that sun started to poke up over the horizon for sunrise, that wind just started flying over the top of the hill, which means all my audio from that portion of the morning was ruined. But luckily, there wasn't really any great photography to go alongside of it. Me and Julien did scout out a composition the night before, which we thought we'd investigate, but upon jostling our tripods right beside each other, like I mean right beside each other, we touched cameras, which was pretty it was a good time. But yeah, honestly, I'll throw the photo up for you guys. Personally think it's not really that special, but you might like it. Following from that, we decided that we'd just be a little bit adventurous for the morning, and we just wander around the boulder and try and spot some compositions and see if we could find anything to redeem the sunrise that was sort of being a failure at the moment. Hopefully I can come back to you with some audio that is not destroyed in the next clip. I think there's a bit of potential here. So we went down a bit more, and we've pretty much ran into the exact same issue. We have a huge gap, and it's difficult to get across. But you know, Julien, the smart man that he is, said, "Oh, we can just walk up the gully." And then I said, "Oh, do you think that'll take us to the top?" And he said, "Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe." And now, the smart guy, he's off to go and find out. What a good guy. What a good guy. Just classic Giuseppe right there.
Do you prefer straight no?
Yeah, I prefer a yes or a no.
I'm giving you a bit of hope.
You already suck all that away at night, Julien. The light is still pretty alright, so good time to get a few compositions. Might even get something in this one right here, because this red pattern in the rocks is a little bit nice, so we'll capture something of that now. It's not looking too bad as a scene. I think I've come to the conclusion, though, that with this Osmo battery dying, we're gonna shoot with the Osmo until breakfast, and then for probably most of the hike back to the car, we're gonna charge the Osmo, and then after that, me and Julien are gonna be going up what he's called the underground creek. But we're gonna capture a few more shots until the Osmo dies, and I've got this one framed up here, again, handheld. And this is essentially the scene that we're working with. It's quite amazing to look at. And when you frame it up in the camera, there's just so many opportunities, because you can just rotate the camera or bring it up and down, and it just changes the scene so much. So maybe I'm going to come up with like a set of 3 from this or something, but even this here, I love that scene. And the fact that you're able to shoot these handheld is just absolutely brilliant. Just ruin my composition, why don't you, Julien? That's right. Go back into your cave. Alright. So we're just going to shoot this composition here, handheld. Got this one framed up in a beautiful square. And we're just framing it so that we cut off the yellow flowers right there. Just because I feel like they're a little bit distracting as an addition to the scene. Go a little bit wider. Yeah, that'll be perfect. And we're just going to capture. Julien is so nicely moving just out of the way of my shot. And back out he comes from his cave. It's hard to understand, Giuseppe. So the wind's picked back up. It's getting a little bit cold again, but all the layers on, so we're all good. Just got another shot framed up in front of me. Julien claims I stole it from him, but I actually shot this one first. He just wasn't looking. He was actually... Oh no! 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 That was my hat! Oh, you dog! Oh, my head is so cold now. You stole my hat! Bloody French bastard! Get back here! My head, it's cold! No, there's wood chips in my hat! Oh! Look what he did! Look what he did! With that monstrous breach of trust out of the way, we can capture this composition, finally. Even though it's not that great. But we'll work with it. Might make it a black and white. But this is what we're working with here, now that I can actually show you with my hat on. We just got this nice burnt tree branch coming out from the rocks, and they're all sort of just framing it around this really nice valley which passes through beside the tree. And I'm just getting the red warning light on my Osmo, so it's about to die. So how about this? We'll say that this is the last shot from the morning. After this, we're going to go and have breakfast, charge the Osmo a bit, and meet up with you guys at some point soon. So we decided, probably against our better judgment, that we are going to go and do the underground creek. It's currently 12 in the afternoon right now, and I've got to be back in Brisbane for probably around 6. Hopefully we'll get a few photos. We'll try and be super quick. It's meant to be 1 hour return, but we're really going to have to rush it with the compositions. Just handheld, take the photos and go. But we've ditched all of our big bags and hiking equipment, and we're just going with camera gear and a water bottle. So let's hope that this is fast. So we made it to the rock, guys. No clue what time it is because I left my phone at the car, but that didn't seem that long of a walk to get here, so we might be alright. But it's just looking lovely here. Got some beautiful, beautiful rock patterns just in front of me right here with the nice orange streaking down the side of the grey granite boulder. Absolutely wonderful. And Julien's, of course, doing a little bit of exploration himself. Just look at the guy go. Julien keeps on shouting over that he's found the best composition of the trip. So we're going to go over and suss it out, because I'm a little bit skeptical. I mean, how can it be so great? It's sort of just like looking down into water. But I've got to pack away the gear to get across this because it's going to be a little bit sketchy. It's just a nice little pit of water there that I got to jump over. But she'll be right. She'll be right. I think Julien's won with this composition, guys. It's a tasty one. It's very tasty. Managed to find this amazing scene which has been carved out by the water, and it just looks wonderful looking down. You'll see what I mean the second I turn this camera around. Just look at that scene right there, with all the rounded edges leading you into the center where you have the water just flowing through into that lit area. Absolutely amazing. So Julian's all set up on the tripod. I just might steal his tripod after this, but I'm gonna try and frame out my own shot first, see if I can get something with just handheld. So this one's honestly pretty easy to compose, guys. We're just doing it nice and simple. Julian's still using his tripod, and I thought I'd just do the fast way. I'm gonna shoot it at 1 to 50 seconds, f8, ISO 1250. It'll be a little bit noisy, but we'll fix that in post. Shouldn't be an issue, but it's as easy as just pointing the camera, really. Essentially, all we're doing here is just angling the camera, getting everything in frame, and we're hitting the shutter button. I'll put up the final image for you guys and let me know what you think, because this is a pretty nice spot. Good find, Julian, good find. Not bad.
Stealing my shot once again.
Don't know what he's talking about with that though. And with that last shot, that brings us to the end of the video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this one. I had such a nice time getting back to Girraween since it had been just about a year since I'd made it to that spot. So it was great to be able to shoot it again in peak wildflower season. Now if you want to see a few more of my images, you can check them out in the link in the description to my website, where you can see my full portfolio set of work, as well as my print shop. So if you're interested in any of that, check that link out. And as a little treat for all those people who stayed behind to the end of the video, here is Julian singing along to his favorite song in the car on the way back from the trip. And don't forget to make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you in the next one.